Hi, and welcome to Healing Archetypes here at the Universal Healing Center in Miami, Florida. Well, today is just such an awesome day. I think it's the perfect time for you to maybe grab a soda, light a candle, dim the lights, set the mood for healing. You know, I know this is a class, but actually, sometimes I treat these moments like a little date, a date with the gods. And if you know anything about dating, you don't want to disrespect your date, you want to give your date your full attention. I mean, even though it is only for 15 minutes, a lot can happen in 15 minutes. Let's list the things that can happen in 15 minutes. Well, you could make a turkey sandwich in 15 minutes. And if you're not a big slob, I'm sure you could clean your room in 15 minutes. And I could actually take a shower in under 15 minutes. So, let's try something. I believe that we could heal in 15 minutes. So, grab your notebook and I want your full attention. Come on, give me my 15 minutes. Okay, so today we want to talk about another archetype for healing. This healer is one of the most misunderstood healers in the world. And should I also say that this is usually one of the most misguided healers in the world today also. So, you really want to pull out your notebook and your pen for this one. Today, we're going to talk about the intuitive healer. The intuitive healer. This is a tough one. But because I'm trying to do this class in 15 minutes, I must tell you, I really don't have time to continuously rub you on your back and tell you it's all going to be okay. What I need from you is to kind of get tough for about 15 minutes. Get a backbone, okay? This is a hard class to teach, and I can already tell you that only the strong will survive. Okay, the intuitive healer. Let me first start by actually giving you the definition of the intuition. Definitions happen to vary. And you could ask two different people the definition of one word, and you might get two different answers. For the sake of this class, I'll give you mine, okay? The intuition is the balance between knowledge gained and a sense of something known, not evident. Notice I said balance between. One of the things I think that intuitive healers have a tendency to do is to always step off balance, I might as well go ahead and let you know that usually in the past, last month, I just didn't like intuitive healers, I wanted nothing to do with them. Although me, myself, one of my main, or let's say strongest functional healing qualities is my intuition. I happen to be one of those people with a strong intuition, and that's where I, heal from. But although I've always liked it myself to say, I just didn't like others. I felt a lot of other intuitive healers were off balance. And I must say it aggravated me, And although I came a long way, I don't want to sound like I, had a full recovery. I still don't like spooky psychics. I don't like people who have a lot of spooky dreams. I don't like people who, when they come in the room, smoke comes in with them. It's just weird, I don't like being around them. And even though I don't like people who talk a lot about intuition, I happen to have learned that being connected to your own personal intuition has so many benefits. The intuition most times can be simply described as a spiritual hunch. I feel I know. I'm not fully aware of how I know this information, but I know somewhere deep inside that I know. A hunch. Your intuition. So, what does this have to do with healing? Well, I believe that if everyone in the world was connected to their intuition, to their spiritual intuition, then we would be riding on the buses, on public transportation, and we could just look over to our neighbor, and on the inside we would know, hey, go easy on her, she's having a bad day. I don't know how I know, I just know you're having a bad day. And fathers would know, hey, tonight, go pick up your daughter, take her to dinner. She's a little depressed. I don't know how I know, but I can feel it. I can feel it. She's depressed, and she needs some encouragement. And healers, we would know, hey, you know what? I'm burnt out. Let me take a break. Let me read my Bible. Let me read my poetry book. I need to refresh myself. That's the reason I'm so cranky and so miserable and so mean. You know, Jesus was an intuitive healer. If you notice, he didn't give the same prescription to every patient. Meaning, to some he told them, go dip in the river. To some, he said, go and talk to the priest. And to others, he gave different methods of healing. You see, part of intuition is knowing exactly what the person needs and delivering exactly to the person the exact thing that they need. You don't have to explain anything to me because I know what you need. Intuition. One of the beautiful things about Jesus was that Jesus was surrendered. Many times in his life, you find him making statements like, not my will, but thy will be done. Meaning that instead of following my own directives, I go inside and I look and I lean towards my intuition. And I say, Father, what would you have me to do? Yeah, and instead of throwing you some advice at the back of my tooth, I really sincerely look on the inside and say, Father, what would you have me to say to my brother or my sister? They are in need. I must tell you, a lot of people come to me for advice on a daily basis, about situations and circumstances in their life. Well, the first thing that I do is I move into the seat of compassion. Yeah, it's a choice. Instead of judging a person, I seek to know, if I were you, how would I feel? And the next question is pivotal. After putting myself in the seat of compassion, the next step is to ask, Father, how can I be of service to this person? No one cares what I think on a personal level. Let's just go ahead and get the elephant out of the room. No one cares about another person's personal opinion. At least I don't. No one wants you to be like their overbearing mother or overbearing father. Hey, that's why they moved out the house, to get away from that. What most people want when they come to you for advice is for you to simply look and kind of see, hey, am I missing something? Can you look at my situation and see something that I just can't see? It's like when you get dressed to go to the club and you go to your best friend and you say, hey, look at the back of my shirt. Is it wrinkled? And here's where the lack of balance shows up. For some of us, if our friend was to ask us, hey, is the back of my shirt wrinkled? We would say something that sounds like this. Well, not only is the back of your shirt wrinkled, but I don't like that shirt. Where did you get it from? Who wears that anymore? And here's what I just didn't like about intuitive healers. When you talk to them, you usually don't get help for your life. All you get is their judgments and their personal opinions. So, today I want to give you a few guidelines for those of you who are seeking the help of an intuitive healer, or if you are actually an intuitive healer yourself, especially if you're one of those people who seek to be an intuitive healer, or one of those people who claim to have a gift of intuition. I want you to get your notebook, because you got some questions to answer if you plan to affect people's lives in such a personal way. Psychics, preachers, opinionated mothers, protective fathers, all of you guys are the same to me. Best friends, or, you may just be one of those people that everyone comes to for advice. And you may say today, hey, I don't want to be an intuitive healer. You make it sound so scary. Well, too late. You already are. The tribe has nominated you, and you've been voted into office. So you need to pick up your pen, grab your notebook, and take some notes. Let's go. Okay. Remember I said that intuitive healing started with, first, having some compassion, putting yourself in the seat of compassion, and then having a mindset of prayer that says, Father, God, universe, whatever you call it, for the sake of the class, today we'll use Father. Father, how can I be of service to myself? Or Father, how can I be of service to this individual that I seek to heal? Now, when you say a prayer like that, you have to have an open heart, because the answer may surprise you. Sometimes the answer may be simply to shut up. Now, don't you tell them to shut up, because you might get a punch across the face. The message may be for you to shut up. Sometimes the correct thing to do in some healing situations is to find a way out of the conversation. It's simple. Now, oh please, don't you come to me with that bullshit, okay? You know how to find your way out of a conversation, especially those of us who have boyfriends or girlfriends or husband or wives. We know how to find our way out of a conversation. Well, because sometimes you don't know the answer to the situation being presented. And the last thing you want to do is mislead a person with some wrong information, especially when it comes to healing. So, what do? Well, you offer the person your complete love and support, and you direct them towards a more informed source. You say, wow, gosh, I know that must be hard. Now, if the person keeps pulling on you for advice, saying, well, come on, tell me what you think, you need to be honest. I'm going to tell you the truth. I do not know. I don't know how you get over a drug addiction. I'm not a drug rehab counselor. I don't know how you heal diabetes. I'm not a medical doctor. I just don't know. And I'd rather tell you that I don't know instead of giving you some crazy information and then you fuck yourself up and then I'm going to feel bad. Listen, when it comes to healing, we don't have time for your ego. I know you want to be the all-knowing source, but get over it. You just simply don't know, and when you don't know, you should say you don't know. Let me tell you something. Most times, healing will be just a process of elimination. Let's say you're out in the backyard playing, and you fall in a hole, and you get a huge cut on your leg. The first thing you do is you go to your mother. You say, Mom, oh my gosh, look at my leg. She goes, wow, that looks deep. We better take you to the doctor. And when you get to your primary physician, he looks and he goes, hey, I want you to go straight to the emergency room because that looks like it hit the bone. And when you get to the emergency room, the doctor says in the emergency room, hey, let's do some x-rays. And he looks and he says, you know what? It didn't hit the bone. We're going to give you a few stitches and you'll be out of here in no time. And you get healed. Hey, are you getting my point? You see, sometimes when mama says she can't do it, daddy says he can't do it, my best friend says he can't do it, then it kind of helps out when they're honest. Let's get their asses out the way so we can really get to the person who has the answer. Is your ego offended by that? I didn't think so. Good. So now you're ready for my guidelines. Got a pen? Number 1, if you're going to practice intuitive healing, please start with yourself. Simple as that. Yeah. If you're going to practice, please start with yourself. Listen. Spiritual healing, okay, the attributes of spiritual healing are parallel with the attributes of natural, medical, or scientific healing, meaning that it takes the same virtues, okay? You need practice, you need discipline, and you need knowledge. Yeah, and you need skill. But until you get your craft all skilled out and until you grow your wings, you're not going to practice on my family. Hey, my mother is not going to be your test dummy. You can forget it. Yeah. So how do you grow your intuitive wings? Well, you grow them by practicing on yourself. What is the spirit world saying to you intuitively? If you can't listen to yourself, how do you expect anybody else to listen to anything you got to say? Number 2, your intuitive healing gift should not cause suffering and confusion. If all you keep having is these sad, scary dreams about death and murder and blood and creepiness, then either you need to stop watching the horror flicks at night, or you need to go see a therapist. You may have a mental illness. And here's my favorite, when people walk up to you and they say, oh my God, my intuition, I have a nudge. I kind of feel like something bad is going to happen to you. You heard that long pause? Well, that was me just staring at them. Okay, number 3. The healing intuition gift should not cause unnecessary embarrassment. This is a real touchy one for me because, I've been a victim of so-called healing intuitive people for years, okay? As a matter of fact, about a year or two ago, I was inside of a meeting and the intuitive healer sitting on the panel actually pointed me out in the audience and said that she had seen in the spirit world that I was living 3 lives. Well, besides being very confused, I was wondering, what was she implying? I think she was I don't know, but I think she was questioning my sexuality. And what I wanted her to know was that I am pretty confident in my sexuality. As a matter of fact, I have a great sex life. I think I have a great sex life. I think I get done so good at night that when I wake up in the morning, I'm on cloud 9. I'm ready to heal the world, baby. Oh, come on. It's just a joke. We're all adults here. So, this will be the PSA to all intuitive healers. Please stop embarrassing people. Sponsored by the Universal Healing Center. Okay, number 4. The healing intuition should have a healing agenda. The whole reason you have the intuition is to help you and others to heal. Now, so no one is going to leave their husband because you said so. No one's going to change the color of their house because you love the color green. The spirits are going to stop telling you how other people should dress. Those are all personal choices and have very little to do with healing. You're going to stop causing unnecessary separation in families, okay? Once again, you're going to make sure to have some class and not to embarrass people. And here's a big one. You're going to stop seeking to control others. Yeah. Healers must learn. And listen, I've played both roles of this play, being a healer and also being a victim of intuitive healers, But intuitive healers, and I'm speaking from experience, we must learn to get a life. We must have a life of our own. Because if you're not careful, you find yourself intuitively plugging into other people's lives so much that you're drained. You're empty. Mind your own business. Listen, pay your own rent. Feed your own kids. Love your own wife. And then when you have a little extra time, you say that prayer I told you. Father, how could I be of service to this other individual? Listen, spiritual integrity starts at home. It starts with you. I can't tell you the amount of years I spent trying to heal and save the whole world, all while overlooking the biggest factor, which was that my own personal life, I was screwed up. Yeah, and I ignored the voice in my head at that time, or the voice in my heart, which was my own intuition, which was saying, hey, you need to heal. Look at your life. Look at your relationships. Look at the way you treat people. Look at the choices that you make for yourself. You need to heal. You need therapy, and you need some time off. You need to get out of people's business and worry about your own life. Yeah, but like so many other people, I did the exact thing that was comfortable. I ignored that voice and kept on my mission. I'm going to heal the world. And yeah, I had a lot of stories of how I probably helped a lot of people. But every day I would come back home to my personal life, which was my own personal little misery. So, here's the meditation for today. I want you to ask yourself, am I connected to my inner voice? Am I connected to the inner voice of my soul? Do I know my spiritual needs? What could I do today to be of better service to myself? Is there something that I need to pray about? Am I carrying a burden that I need to turn over to the universe? This is the start of intuitive healing for you, for your family, and for the whole world.